All right, Amityville 3D. Now, this is post Friday the 13th, which seems to be the first of the big franchises at that time to be doing the 3D thing. And then this and Jaws came out the exact same year in 1983. 3D, 83, third parts of films. There you go. There's a little bit of a trend. Now we got Tony Roberts in here from Popcorn. Yes, I know he's been in plenty of other stuff, but we're keeping it horror for this, and we're going with Popcorn. We've also got not only Lori Loughlin from Full House fame, first movie here, but also Meg Ryan's first movie as well. And they are 19 and 22 respectively. And both of them, especially Lori Loughlin, holy shit, man. A 19-year-old Lori Loughlin, fuck. This is one of the most beautiful women that's ever lived. I don't care. This whole scandal with her makes me laugh out loud anytime I hear about it. Rich people paid for their kids to get into college? No way. Is that really a scandal? Or is this something we finally supposedly caught after we all knew something like that was happening? I mean, rich people pay for their kids to get into school? Who cares? Is that really a scandal? I don't know. And what, they were paying for other kids to get in as well? I mean, I guess you could be like, oh, well, other kids who deserved it could have got in instead. I know there's ways to spin it, but to act surprised, to act shocked, like, oh, the scandal of the century. And then one of them went to jail for like 7 days. Felicity Evans went to jail for like 2 freaking seconds. She didn't even serve like all, I think it was like she served like 7 of her 9 days or something like that. I was like, she didn't even finish her days. I remember, wasn't it like Paris Hilton who like went to jail and then we watched her motorcade leave jail and they were like, she's leaving early, you know, without permission and this and that. And I'm like, what do you mean she's leaving early? You don't just leave jail. Like, that's the point of jail. Like, what is jail to these people? I remember watching that on TV and be like, what do you mean she's leaving? I don't understand. What am I watching here? Like, was she on house arrest? I don't even remember, but I remember watching that and being like, you can't leave jail. Like, everyone would leave jail if that was an option. So I'm not really sure what's going on right now. Anyways, that's besides the point, but hey, you know what? I don't have a lot to say about this movie. This movie was pretty damn boring, pretty bland. So let's talk about scandals of the present and the past. All right, moving on. Meg Ryan, I'm not a huge fan of her physically. I like her fine, you know, Sleepless in Seattle, and You've Got Mail, and freaking City of Angels, and all those rom-coms or depressing ass City of Angels type movies she made. That was what she kind of was famous for. They're all fine films, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. When Harry Met Sally is probably her biggest film, which I've never seen. Weirdly, I've never seen that movie. Can you believe that? I've never seen that movie. I just never found her all that attractive. I get it. Like in Addicted to Love with Matthew Broderick and all that. I see the attraction. And I'm not saying I wouldn't go home with her. I absolutely would. I'm just not like over the moon with her. You know what I mean? Like celebrity hot, where you're like, oh wow, I know why she's a celebrity. She's cute, which is fine. Anyway, as I said, I don't have a lot to say about this movie, so I'm just gonna talk about nothing here. All right, so these guys are debunkers in the beginning of this movie, like James Randi. If you don't know who James Randi, look him up. He's pretty amazing. He offers $1 million if you can show him something that he can't prove with science. So he kind of takes the fun out of things for people who want to believe in more than. So he kind of debunks everyone's hopes and dreams. So he's kind of an asshole, but I love it. I think we need to be more intelligent about that kind of stuff. But that's just me. Believe whatever you want to believe. All right, so this dude who sells them the house after, because he has to give it away for nothing. Give it away now. He's gonna give it away to them for, you know, absolutely nothing. He can't even sell the houses next door, you know, on either side of the house. The house is so tainted by this point. Now, no mention of, the previous stuff almost at all, except for the DeFeo murder. So we don't know anything about the families from 2 or 1 or any. So who knows? Anyways, and he buys the house because he's not superstitious. Honestly, I'll tell you this. I'm not superstitious, but I would not buy a house where multiple murders kept occurring. Like if a family lived there and they were murdered in the house and years had passed and this and that, I'd probably live there. I don't really see the big hubbub. But like if multiple families kept buying the house and dying, yeah, I'd be like, okay, somebody's obviously got a vendetta against this house and wants to kill anyone who lives in here. So, I'd just be smart about it and not do it. So, but I would not believe it was haunted. And then we got picture distortion here, which of course was already used in The Omen and then later used in stuff like The Ring and plenty of other movies. The flies are back. The flies are characters unto themselves in this franchise. There's flies in every damn one of these movies. Even in the 4th one, which I just started, there's flies up in the eye. The flies are prevalent here. And then they have this dude who is trying to explain everything, a scientist that they work with, and he can explain 97% of occurrences, freak occurrences, but 3% is the reason why he does it. So he needs to get with James Randi, who can prove it 100% of the time. The elevator sequence in this would be horrible to me, because if you've ever been on that ride, Guardians of the Galaxy Breakout at California Adventure Disneyland, that is seriously the most nausea-inducing ride I've ever been on in my entire life. I wanted that ride to end the second it started. When it threw me up, it was the most horrible feeling ever. And then it would just drop me and then throw me back up. It wasn't so much the drop. The drop I'm okay with. I didn't love that, but it was the up when you're and then down. Oh my God, I hated it. I have an inner ear disorder where I'm already off balance and dizzy all the time. So anything like that, like strong motion, I can't handle it. And I just expected it to go up and just drop once. Oh, was it not like that at all? It was horrible. So I don't recommend it to anyone who gets like motion sickness anyway. And yeah, I guess the house can control elevators in a building miles away now. So the house is just getting more and more powerful with how far out it can extend its powers. And Melanie, his like girlfriend in this, has these horrendous experience in the house. And when he comes home, she just freaks out and starts screaming at him, "Don't touch me," nothing, and runs out of the house and refuses to come back. And she still dies, man. The chick runs away. This is what I'm saying. Why did the Lutzes get off so easily? This chick tried to run away from the house, and not only did it crash her car, but then it burned her alive inside. What a horrible death, man. She probably has the worst death in the whole damn movie, in the whole damn franchise thus far, for sure. And then a lot of screaming in this house, but hey, good thing he doesn't have any neighbors, right? So Dr. West, no, not the one from Reanimator, their buddy, who later in the movie, his name's Elliot in this, Dr. Elliot West. He has half of his face burnt off, and the actor of this character plays a character named Charlie in Land of the Dead, George A. Romero's Land of the Dead, the 4th film in the Night of the Living Dead series. And he has half of his face burnt right off. So this is a prequel to that movie. Okay, not really, but there you go. And the theories that he's giving, the testing theories and what he talks about in that sequence, is by far the most interesting stuff in the movie. So I liked that stuff. It kind of made me think a little bit, so I dug that. Meg Ryan's character in this movie seems very hard up to want to fuck a ghost. She talks about it extensively in this, and she says that it's supposed to be really intense, and she could get into that. So kind of hot, actually. Can I get your ghost, Bob? I guess she wants Bob to get her ghost in this instance. And the mom forbids the daughter from going there, but of course she rejects that notion and goes there and does a seance with her friends, naturally. And then the mom comes to the house to confront her about this, and she sees her walking up the stairs completely drenched head to toe. I was going to make a really inappropriate joke there about a wet Lori Loughlin, but we're going to move on from that and say that that was a creepy ass sequence to watch her daughter walk up those stairs wet right up into that room, and then opens the door later and she's not in there, you know, disappeared. There's no way out of that room. And then, you know, before that, she goes down and she sees that her daughter's dead, and she's in full-blown denial. Now, A, why didn't anyone try to do CPR on her? Was this not a thing in 1983 for people to do? B, the dad didn't stay with his daughter to see if she was going to be resurrected, was going to be brought back to life. Like, seriously? She's like, let me show you. And he's like, okay, there's nothing important going on here. I mean, my daughter's laying dead here, and these paramedics might bring her back to life. Maybe I could encourage them or sit here for moral support or whatever and watch to see if my daughter will come back to life, because there's still a chance. But no, I'm going to go investigate the house with my wife because she's in denial. And, you know, I'm not believing that who I'm looking at right now, who's so clearly obviously my daughter, because I'm the one who pulled her out of the boat and was looking directly into her dead fucking face. I'm not going to take what I know to be true as a skeptic in the movie itself. I'm going to pay attention to my fucking wife who's in hysterics and go search the house while people operate on my fucking daughter and wonder if she'll ever come back to life. I don't need to know that. That's not important information. No, I gotta go in the house. And fuck, why didn't I do CPR on her while I was waiting for them to get here? What the fuck? No one knew CPR? Not one single person? In 1983, people didn't know CPR? Really? Really? You can see that scene riled me up. I was just like, I have a daughter. I have 2 daughters. My daughter was sitting there, drowned. Anyway. And then, here, to all that shit. And then we bring in an investigation team, which I think was very much because of the movie Poltergeist, which came out a year before this. And it's very Poltergeist-esque. And then there's this purple smoke blob apparition that I guess is their daughter flying around the house. And then it lures the mom down into the basement where the monster pops up from the well, which is really silly. But as I said, I think it's the monster that is in part 1 and 2. So there you go. But yeah, I mean, from here, I would assume that these doctors have proof of the afterlife. They have proof of supernatural occurrences, so they're good. They should be millionaires. This should be national news by the next day. And any sequel thus thereafter, although the house burns down at the end, but then in part 4, it's just back. And there's no explanation. So fuck continuity. And, you know, who cares what happens in the last movie. And then, yeah, the house blows itself up. I guess it's just done. It's like, you know, man, no one's going to get out. So I'm just going to blow myself up. I'm done with it. Why didn't it blow itself up with everyone inside to take them down? I don't know. And then this fly flies out of the house at the end. Is that possessed? Is that the fly that flies into Jeff Goldblum's little transporter thing there? Okay. I'm getting all wacky with theories of spin-offs and prequels and shit. So anyways, there you go. The first 3 Amityville movies. For whoever the hell sent me this, please elaborate. Tell me who did this. Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for the money. And yeah, I will return with Amityville 4. The evil escapes from into some stupid lamp. A fucking lamp. God, it's a dumb movie. Anyway, see you soon.